Hey guys, Shaun here. Thanks to everyone who tunes into the Play It Up podcast. We really love doing this podcast and really appreciate everyone who listens. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram by searching for Play It Up Podcast. You can find the full video podcast on YouTube, and you can listen to us on Spotify, Apple and Google Podcasts, Anchor, and more. If you want to ask us a question, you can do so on Anchor, and your question will be featured on the podcast. If you like what we do, please remember to like, review, comment, follow or subscribe, and please recommend us to your friends. Thanks guys, and enjoy the episode. I can't even remember how I used to do it.
Running through my head.
All the things she said, running through my head.
Running through my head.
Hello again, and welcome back to another episode of the Play It Up podcast. I am one of your hosts, Shaun, and joining me today is
Neil.
Yeah,
that's me. Yeah.
it's Neil.
And
he's the problem. It's Neil. You know,
where
Taylor Swift.
IT. Oh yeah. I'm trying to think what like
you don't listen to it every day.
I listen to a bunch of Tay-Tay because Heidi's
good,
running
man.
to. Yeah.
No, so she should
Heidi
be. She's
loves
empowering
Tay-Tay.
women.
Yeah. We need more of that.
We do.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like, well, because Mark and I are the Ghost Bros, so
that's not what I
don't
call
know
you,
what we are.
But let's go with Ghost Bros.
Oh, Gobbies.
The Gobby Brothers.
I don't know.
That's childish.
We're
Neil.
both pretty handy in IT, so we could be
are.
the handies.
Oh,
yeah.
True. Maybe we could be the turn it off and on agains.
Yeah. Well, that's
or
that's factual.
The password resets.
Password resets. Yeah.
We'll work on it.
Yeah.
We'll workshop it, and we'll come up with something much better than that rubbish.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we get.
Have you?
Oh no! We're just talking over each other, mate. The feng shui is all off.
Mark is just so much more calming to work with. You're just like a fucking scatterbrain, brother. Show's just all over the road.
I'm gonna pretend you didn't.
But it's
say
entertaining.
That.
It's entertaining.
So help me God.
No, I love it. I love it, Shaun.
This is the chaos of our podcast, you know. I think this is only the second one we've ever done together. The first one I was interviewing you. Second one's been just us.
Maybe we'll flip it on its head. Maybe I'll interview you.
Don't do that. It'll be boring.
So what are we talking about tonight, Shaun?
Tonight we are talking about what we've been up to, what we've been playing. One of us did something ridiculous lately on a really difficult arcade game. Actually, you've probably done a couple of those. And some pickups. I got a really, really cool pickup just over the weekend. It was super random. Stoked on it. I think it's really cool because it was a good deal. Came out of nowhere. And yeah, just generally that, maybe some upcoming stuff and an event or two that we've been to. So yeah, mate. Shall we start with yourself? What have you been up to? What's the news?
Perfect. Yeah. So I've got two pieces of news, I suppose. So I'll start with Spectre because it's my one and true love of video games.
A 2-piece feed, and the first piece is Spectre. Delicious.
Yeah. It's so I had a game last night. I've been practicing my start, so you can point press the first 3 levels. It's difficult to do, so it can be very frustrating. A little bit like trying to get a start on Donkey Kong. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, like you can so easily die 2 or 3 times on those first 3 levels or
Yeah.
4 levels. Um, so
Especially
I
if you're
got a
point
start of
pressing.
yeah, yeah, that's it.
Hmm.
Because with Spectre, you shoot these 2 green cars and you leave the red cars, and if you do that, the game doesn't progress and continues to regenerate the green cars. But
Mm.
one of the green cars shoots, and when they regenerate, they can regenerate out of anywhere. So 1 minute you're driving along, and then you all of a sudden like this green car like pretty much um, is on you and you die. So getting a decent start of the game is very difficult. But I ended up getting a start of 21,000, and I took that game to where I keep on dying on the same level. But that was enough to get me 78,000. So
Ooh,
I'm
baby.
really stoked with that. So um, yeah,
And as
it's
soon as
actually
you finish that level, you'll get a 9,000 point bonus, right? And that'll just smash the world record, or will it just kind of beat it to look by a little bit?
yeah. So the record's mid 80s. I think it's like 80,500. So considering it's it's a low scoring game,
Hmm.
most of the high score games are like in the like low millions or something like that, I suppose. So the fact that it's such a low scoring game to put like close to like 9,000 points on top of that, yeah, I think that's like that's a
That's
significant gap.
that's
So
huge. That's like more than 10% of your score just for bonus. So
yeah,
that'll be a massive PB, and you will do
yeah.
it.
So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I gave myself 12 months to get this record, and I'm
Nice,
getting pretty close, about 3 months in. So yeah,
nice.
I'll certainly take that. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, you haven't let me down
Oh,
yet, so I believe in you.
oh, thanks, Shaun. Yeah. It's
That's all right, mate.
got Shaun in my corner.
You can do anything
Speaking
now.
about having Shaun in my corner, we were at Netherworld the
Oh,
other day.
that's the other time.
Um, yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
with the other Play It Up boys, Dennis Cooligan,
The Coolican.
and Mike Edmonds. Um,
Dennis Coolican and Mike Edmonds. Yeah, those guys.
yeah,
Uh,
lovely chaps, lovely, great
oh,
guys. If you ever met them before, they're the
oh,
bee's knees of the arcade scene in Brisbane.
those blokes were all right.
Yeah, yeah. So we caught up at Netherworld because I was kind of like, oh, this was just after I'd been sick for like 3 weeks. I was
Hmm.
just really keen to get out and catch up with you guys. So turns out Dennis was having family, like he had family at Netherworld having like
Mm-hmm.
a bar feed. So we all went in, and yeah, we were playing some Donkey Kong. Um, and yeah, just put in a credit on Donkey Kong and had
Oh,
a hell of a
wait, can
game.
I brag first? I got 200 and something thousand. That was a pretty good warm-up game.
Yeah,
At least
just
I thought
got
so at the time.
just lubricated the stick uh,
Oh, you saw that?
just well
Oh.
enough, and yeah. um, so yeah, I jumped on after Shaun. Mike had a quick level one go. I think he was trying to get the highest score he could on level one.
Hmm.
And then yeah, I just jumped on, just expecting like yeah, average Sunday, like a. Well, I don't know what I was expecting. I knew I would have been happy with 400,000, because that's kind
Yeah,
of like I think that's still a decent score for like an average game of Donkey Kong.
for sure.
Um, but yeah, I I actually got 400 with my first man, um, and then I moved on pretty quickly, and there was a little hiccup with a barrel that I had. I tried to jump. I tried to jump a barrel, and I felt like the controller didn't move, and I think I died at like 600k, and
Hmm.
then I had another death at about 700k on barrels, and then the last one was a kill screen. So it was just a really random kill screen that just happened at Netherworld on a really
So
busy
good.
day. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. Really weird environment because there was like a band that was playing, but they weren't just like rocking the whole time. Like they played a song and then
Yeah,
like waited like 10 or 15 minutes.
yeah. It
Um,
was weird that it was like all of
yeah,
a sudden super hectic and loud, and it was coming at, I mean, every part of Donkey Kong's pretty tense, but if that's happening just as you're about to do the springs, just out of
yeah,
nowhere, and it is loud in there. It is not like, it's basically it's a small little concert room where no matter where you are, you're close to the speakers,
yep,
and it
yeah. And
all reverberates off the walls, I guess. So
mm, off all those paintings, yeah. Um,
yeah, off me.
but yeah, but it was that was actually really hard to play through. Um, there was like lots of people coming up behind me that I didn't know, and there was lots of people who were like this band just played, and like Donkey Kong when you're playing Donkey Kong at Netherworld, it's loud, like it's a loud machine. You can hear it over any other
Yeah.
machine.
Oh yeah, even the
But
pinballs. Yeah.
yeah, but with this band playing, I found that was very very distracting, and like just trying to like listen for your hammer running
Yeah.
out and things like that. It's only small things, but yeah, it was
Yeah.
just a really interesting experience. But one I really loved, it was really cool having Sean, Mike, and Dennis talk shit over my shoulder,
Kept
which
you
kept me
relaxed.
pretty chill. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And had a
It
beer by my
was.
side. So
Oh yeah, I was
yeah,
awesome, man. It was such a cool thing to witness. Like, saw you having a good first man. Like after 200K, I was like, all right, he's having a decent game here. But as we all know, you don't get your hopes up with Donkey Kong. And as those hundreds of thousands, like landmarks or milestones passed, I was starting to think more and more, shit, he might do this. And I would go and watch something else because, Donkey Kong's painful enough to play for that long, let alone watch. But I kept
yeah,
coming back and watching for a few minutes, and it was really entertaining. And one of the boards you had at the end, I don't know if you were going to talk about that, or if it's okay, well, I do, but it made me lose my mind, man. That rivets board was one of the sickest things I've ever seen.
yeah, yeah. Feel free to explain it. I think you might do it a
Well,
bit more justice.
well, I have a pretty clear memory. Like it was a pretty standard board. Like it wasn't that dangerous until it got to the point where you had I think you had one rivet left, maybe, or a couple. No, you had a few left, right? So it was a fairly dangerous one
Uh,
still.
I think it was like the two top ones on the right were left. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and you were on the second level, so not on the ground level, like the one up from that, down the bottom, right,
Yeah.
on the
Yep.
right side, and you were on the right side of the gap between the rivets. You had already cleared that rivet, and you were trapped
Yeah.
between two fireballs, one on the other side of the gap and one on your right, with just a small amount of space where that fireball can go back and forth between basically the barriers, because they can't fall off the platform. And you were situated perfectly where the fireball on the other side couldn't get you, but the fireball on this side, if you jumped and timed your jump properly and it didn't turn around quickly after you landed, then you were safe. And you did, was it 4 or 5 jumps?
Four. Yeah. Four
And
straight jumps.
like one of those is a highlight on its own. When someone does one of those and then escapes, it's just like, whoa. Even if you just jump a fireball and run away, that's like a mini highlight because you just try to avoid them as much as possible. But after the second one, me and Dennis and you were kind of just like, oh, like,
Yeah.
holy shit. And then number 3 came, and then number 4, and then the fireballs kind of scattered a little bit, and you had space to move, and you were like
Yeah.
almost horizontal at that point because you were leaning closer and closer to the machine, like, oh
Yeah.
fuck, I'm still alive, holy shit. And then we were all just laughing and like kind of, I screamed and Dennis was like yelling. It was like a sporting event,
It
man.
was,
It was so fucking cool.
yeah, I suppose I think that actually helped me kill screen. Funny enough, is like funny. Like I know it's a funny thing to say, but I after that, like I
Mm,
kind of felt like I was just happy with whatever happened from there on in, because
yeah.
like I hadn't done something like that on Donkey Kong before, and just like to be in such a shit situation and coming out unscathed,
It's-
was just yeah, it was exhilarating. So
Man,
I think that took the pressure off the game a lot as well. Yeah,
because
I
like
know it sounds
you
odd,
felt
but
like you should have died basically, but somehow you escaped death, and
yeah, I
everything
suppose
after
so.
that was a
Yeah,
bonus.
yeah, yeah. Um, but
Yeah, I
yeah,
remember you
it was a
saying
great
that
experience.
even during the game. I think you said like,
Yeah,
well, whatever happens now, I'm
I'm
happy.
just yeah. It was just like I was stoked, like I pulled that off, and you know,
Yeah,
yeah, I
I
don't know,
I actually laughed like really loud as it happened. I think I do that when I see something really ridiculous. It just
yeah,
like it just comes out and I just laugh. It was awesome,
yeah,
man. I love the
yeah.
fact that
So
like you were getting further, and I think you expected to die, so you were kind of like preempting your like like the
oh,
lean forward if you die, but you just didn't die, so you kept just leaning forward
yeah,
further.
it was just getting more intense. I think that's what it was. Like it was just such an intense moment. Like
Yeah,
any like if you don't time that right, then you're dead. So yeah, it was just super
totally.
intense.
Also, like sometimes there's nothing you can do if that fireball turns around because it's random how quickly
Or
it turns
froze,
around.
yeah.
Yeah, it could have easily just killed you, but it was the perfect. It was like shitty RNG that led to this perfect situation where if you timed it right and then you got the good RNG, you get this awesome highlight, and
Yeah.
you didn't disappoint, mate. You did not choke. It was awesome.
Yeah.
A lesser
Yeah,
man
thanks.
would
No,
have died, mate.
it was a great experience and awesome awesome one to share with friends, that's for sure.
Oh,
And yeah,
sure.
it was the first time out of the house for ages, so there was just a lot to it that was yeah, just made it really cool and getting a kill screen. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe the
So
secret is you
third
got to be sick for 3 weeks, have a week where you're not on the screens because you had a
yep,
screen-free week with the family, which is great, by
yep.
the way. And then you came back and you were just like refreshed and just got a kill screen first try. You did the Shane Saul, except it
The
was
chainsaw.
like
I love
in
that.
a very uncontrolled environment.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Shane Saul.
I wish I
Shout out
was
to
anything
Shane.
like Chainsaw. Yeah.
What an
Absolute
animal.
beast.
Yeah, man. Well, maybe you'll get the bounty this year at Kogoff and get
Oh, I
that
wouldn't say that.
whatever money it is. You never know if you've done it first go
That's
before.
Shane's fuel money. Yeah, he needs it to get back to the Gold Coast. So,
You can still give it to him afterwards. It'll be
what
like
about you, Sean?
pity fuel money. Like, oh mate, here you go. Off you go
They
back
only
to the
gave me
Gold
$10,
Coast.
Shane. Yeah. Just lie about how much you won.
Yeah. Jeez, the sure went down this year. The prize money.
Yeah.
I'm so keen for BPAC, by the way, coming up July 14th. I think it starts. I've got the dates right here. Yep, 14th to
Yeah,
23rd of
14th
July.
to 23rd.
Nice. I've
Yeah.
got the
Uh,
logo on as my wallpaper on
yeah.
all
Are
three
you
of my
taking the
screens.
week
So.
off?
Nah, not the week, because that's another thing I'll probably talk about. Like, I can probably take a few days, but I want to have enough leave in November to go to
Ooh.
Japan again.
Yeah. Rad.
So I'm selling some games. I just sold Conker's Bad Fur Day and Banjo Tooie for a decent amount on eBay. That's trying to basically fuel myself to get there and not have to dig into savings or anything because I don't really play
Did
a lot of those games. So
Well,
Hmm.
did you play them before you sent them off?
I didn't, but I've had them for like over a decade. And my plan is to kind of focus my collecting from here out on only keeping like I'll always keep all the hardware because I want to play it on original hardware, but I think I'm going to start going the Everdrive or ODE route. So it's still like all original. It's not emulation. Um, I guess some people would see that as emulation, but if it's running with no lag on original hardware and it's still booting the ROM or the ISO or whatever as if it is coming off the original, then I don't
Yep.
see that as emulation. And I mean, who cares? Even if it is, as long as you're having fun and it plays well. To me, I don't really care.
Did you sell them for a good wicket? Because Conkers is quite notoriously like a high, well, an expensive game, I suppose.
Yeah, no, I did. I could have put it up for buy it now and just left it there until it's sold for higher, but I don't know. I don't mind having an auction and then it just sells for what people think it's worth at the time.
Yeah.
And I don't mind sometimes putting stuff on Gumtree or Marketplace, but for games, you can get a lot of interest, and also then you have to talk to a lot of people who are offering different things, and it's just so much. It's not worth it, and you get less money in the end
Gumtree,
anyway. Yeah, scum
fake book.
bum tree fake book. I haven't heard that. That's so obvious. How have I not heard that? Fake news.
Pretty much.
Uh,
So yeah,
so
you put them on eBay and sold. They're two,
yeah,
yeah, sought after games.
yeah. So that pays for a fair chunk of the return flight to Japan on its own, and I'm not missing them or anything. So I'll just at some point get a I'll I don't know whatever's available at the time. I'll either mod the 64 so it can accept like a SD card. I don't know if that exists, but you can just get a EverDrive or like a flash card of some kind. Because I'm not that fond of the Nintendo 64. I like it for Mario Kart, Super Mario 64. There is a few really good games, of course, but for collecting, I want to focus on Famicom mostly because I like how the cartridges look compared to NES.
They're rad, eh?
And they're cheaper. Yeah, they're so cool, man. And they're
Why are
fun
they
to
cheaper?
collect in Japan. Well, there's outside of Japan, there's not as much of a demand because people didn't grow up with them, and also
Mm.
you need to know Japanese, but only for a very few of the games. Like there's so many platformers and shooters where you don't need to know the story or anything like that,
Yeah.
or need to know any of the text.
As,
Maybe it helps a little bit, but
as long as you're not playing an RPG or something, you should be good.
exactly. And these days, I mean, you could play. I think you could get the cartridge. There are things like the Retron where you can put the cartridge in, but then it is playing via emulation. But you can patch the ROM that you get from your cartridge with a language patch and then play. It's kind of like you're playing it from the cartridge, but in English. But really,
Yeah, right.
it's just taking the ROM. It rips the ROM, and I think it stores it while the ROM's in there. It's not really playing from the cartridge, but it's
Yeah,
still
right.
cool if you can. That's how you want to play things because that's part of the experience is putting the cartridge in and the sounds of the plastic and the metal hitting each other. Oh, ASMR, mate, for
Exciting.
retro nerds. Love it. I love it. But yeah, so that's sort of a plan later in the year. But yeah, for BPAC, I definitely want to take a few days off because I'm going to be volunteering and doing some work there at like the merch desk and also helping run some of the comps. Um, yeah, I think we'll do probably an episode on the leading up to it a bit closer and go
Yeah.
through everything. But if you are
Well, I've
listening
got
and you're interested, get your ass up to Brisbane, 14th to 23rd of July for the biggest pinball and arcade event, I guess, in the Southern Hemisphere. Could be wrong there, but it has to be close. if it's not the
Yeah.
biggest thing. And Brewdog, there'll be an event at One Up, event at Netherworld, but most of it will be held at Brewdog with just the coolest setup you'll ever see. Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah,
what
definitely.
were you going to say?
We'll certainly have an episode before before BPAC.
Oh yeah.
I want to go through all the. I've got to go through all the Donkey Kong stats.
Oh yeah. I need to reply to you with
That-
my PB, how many Kong offs and kill screens.
Yeah, the list is growing, which is exciting. So, yeah, really looking forward to it. But we can talk about it on the BPAC episode.
Yes. So, did you have any other stuff you wanted to talk about before I start jabbering away about your
No,
own
man,
escapades lately?
no, all sweet. I'm all good. I'm keen to hear what you've been up to.
Well, so you spoke about having a Targ, playing Spectre, and the old kill screen.
The old kill screen.
Yeah.
Ye oldie.
Ye older, your third kill screen. Second on an
Yeah.
original hardware.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is
But,
that DK board, isn't it, in the machine at Netherworld?
yep. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Nice. And it was 865,000 points,
Yeah,
right?
I don't think it was. Yeah, I don't think it was. I can't remember my first DK kill screen score,
Well, you've got so
but
many now.
it wasn't as high as my the one that I did at BPAC, which was like 889.
889. Yeah.
But
Pretty
I
close to
kind
that
of feel like
900.
yeah, like I feel like if you're scoring like a mid 800 game of Donkey Kong on a kill screen, you're no different to anyone who's scored like similar. You know, like 10,000 here or there doesn't make you a better player. I don't think. Like,
Nah. It's kind of luck of the draw.
yeah, yeah, you were just lucky that certain boards went your way, and you know some of them might not have. But yeah,
Definitely.
unless you're like really going for like 900 or something, like yeah, that would be the only kind of time that I think you've improved from like a regular kill screen.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I think I can hear the fan. It was affecting it and it's distracting me. If it's all right to turn it down or something. Sorry, man.
Oh, it's all good.
Oh, 6 shorts. That's all
Yeah,
I
they're my
actually wanted
bluey.
to see.
They're my bluey pajamas. So
Bluey!
Heidi and
Nice,
I
mate.
have matching PJs.
Cute. Such a good dad.
Yeah. So what have you been up to, Shaun? What's news on your end?
My news is so I did go in there, probably start back there. I got the high score pin at One Up when I was there. After the Fight Club recently, where I entered the Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 fighting, I guess gaming tournament, but fighting game tournament. That was really cool. Dennis did a great job with the stream, and a bunch of us were there. It was a pretty good turnout because that's quite an iconic title. Whenever there's one of the original Street Fighters or Mortal Kombat's, like the mainline games, people definitely show up for it. John McIntyre was there, Peter High, and forget his name, who came from out of town. I know him.
I do know it.
It's on the tip of my tongue, but I think he's from Bundaberg.
I thought he was down from New South Wales.
Could be wrong. Yeah.
I'm quite. Yeah.
Well, Mike came third. Peter came second. Duncan, there it is.
That's it, Duncan. Yeah.
Duncan just dunked on a wall and just took it out. He's an animal.
Dunkin'
He's
Donuts.
so good. Yeah. Turned them all into Dunkin' Donuts and ate them all up like they were nothing. I was really close between him and Peter. I actually performed better than I thought. I went 2-2, and it was
Boom.
only when it wasn't too bad because you can only lose twice and then you're out. I won my first match, and then I think I lost one. Who beat me? Can't remember. I think pretty sure John McIntyre's kid beat me, but he beat a lot of people. Hi Michelle. And then it's only when I got home that I realized I went 2-2, but the only matches I won were against teenage girls. So make of that what you will of my fighting skills. If I'm 34 and I've been playing this game, a fair while, and then could only manage to beat a couple of teenagers. So, and also got beaten by a kid who's not even a teenager yet. I'm pretty sure he's beaten me before. If he didn't beat me that day, he's really good. But yeah, it was
So
pretty fun.
yeah, good turnout. The thing was like 15 or something like that.
Yeah, somewhere like 13 or 15, somewhere around there, which is pretty good for the fight club. It looks like the next one coming up, because it's going to be for April, is going to be a bunch of ridiculous things, kind of like an April Fool's. It looks like it's going to be, or could be, from a number of ridiculous fighting games. So looking forward to that, because I might stand a chance if no one else knows the game very well.
I would love it to be. I really hope that it's either Golden Axe or Double Dragon, where you have to beat up each other while trying to score points. Boom.
Oh wow. But then do you get points from beating up each other?
No, you can just kill each other. But you can kill each other in the game.
All right. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Who
So
can
you got to
beat
try
each
and
other
get
up?
points by killing opponents, but you also have to beat up each other.
Could you kill each other at the same time? So then if you both die at the same time, it's whoever has the most points that wins?
I'm not sure
Like
if you
as a
can kill each other
tiebreaker?
at the same time, but like it would have to like end when someone's dead. That would be one
Sure.
of the rules. Yeah.
Sure.
So I'm
So
sure there would be other games. Like I'm not sure if Final Fight, you can beat each other up, but I'm pretty sure there is. Like it might even be like a dip, to be honest. Like
it'd be entertaining, wouldn't it?
oh, it would be
Yeah, dip
great.
switch to change it for like friendly fire.
Yeah. And you
That'd
just
be
play all
so
these
funny to
games
watch,
like
man.
co-op games where people are fighting each other and
Yeah.
trying to score points at the same time. This is gold. Like
You could even
yeah.
do something like you could use like the newer Super Mario games where you can like pick each other up and throw each other off cliffs and stuff,
Yeah.
and make it a race, like who can finish the stage first, and you can mess with the other people. That'd be fun, man. It's a good
It
idea.
would.
The best like friendly fire co-op games. That'd be a really funny comp, man. We should do that someday.
Maybe for my birthday this year, we'll do it.
Oh hell yeah.
That'll be fun.
Shit yeah. That'd be great. Yeah, at 1UP after the tournament, I played a few different games, and then I saw Tetris, and I thought, oh, what's the high score? Oh, I'll see if I can get that. I think it's Atari Tetris, and it's really fun. It's like first level, I think, is just normal, and then there's it starts to have puzzle elements where you start off with some junk, and then it just gets faster and more difficult, and I ended up getting that top score. And I didn't even know that I would have gotten a pin for it. That's the pin there. And it's pretty cool. High
Very
score.
cool.
It says 1UP Arcade high scorer. And I told Marcus that I got the score. So Marcus is the manager of 1UP. And he said, oh, do you want a pin? You get a high scorer pin. I was like, oh, sure. All right. Said, oh, I don't know though, because that was a funny part. I said, I don't know. I don't think it was that good of a score. I don't know if I deserve it. He was like, it's my score, you dickhead, that you beat. Because
That's awesome.
it was only like second attempt or whatever, but I play a lot of Tetris, and I don't know if he played that much to get that score. So that was pretty funny. He cracked up over that. He's a good dude. So yeah, got me the pin, and that was a pretty successful day. Good
Yeah,
fun.
I reckon you should tackle the arcade Tetris. I've seen some people do some madcore games of it, and it feels like it's not too hard compared to a lot of other versions out there.
The Atari one, or like
Yeah, the
TGM?
Atari one.
Okay, because there's the Grandmasters one as well, which I haven't really played much. But yeah,
I don't.
I'll give it a shot. Maybe there's a score that I'd be able to get.
Well, I'm pretty sure there's a score on Twin Galaxies, and like the guy just gave up at the end. Like he didn't like he was playing it. He was marathoning it so well. I think he just gave up. So
Ooh.
yeah, it might be sky's the limit for it if
Oh,
you check it out.
I'll have a look.
And
Wow,
like I
and that
swear, like the pace that he plays at is nowhere near the pace that you play on Game Boy or
or an
or
NES.
NES. Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to look into it. That could be interesting. I've never thought about doing a marathon before, but if it's going to be
Hmm.
something, it might as well be Tetris. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll look into that, man.
It would hold a lot of concentration, I suppose. Like there's one move and you could F up pretty
Uh,
bad, but yeah,
for
worth
sure.
looking into.
A
Mm.
lot of autopilot as well, because you kind of know every situation almost where the piece should go.
Yep.
But yeah, once you stuff up, that's when you have to be alert and fix your stuff up, fix your misdrop.
Did you recall your score?
Mm, I probably got a photo of it. But I think the score before that was like 34,000, and maybe I got around 60 or 50.
Okay.
But yeah, it was like my second or third game after
Yep.
I sort of figured it out a little bit. Yeah, I'll have to look into it for sure.
Mm.
It's a good tip. Always thinking of world records, Neil. It's just how you work. That's cool. So what was next? We had the Mikey's DK lesson. He did his very thorough beginner's lesson for Donkey Kong. And if anyone wants to see that, I think it's going to be or is already uploaded on YouTube. If you
Mhm.
search for, if it is, I'll put a link in the show notes. I think it's probably Donkey Kong beginner's class or something on YouTube.
Yeah.
If you're wanting to get into Donkey Kong, especially if you're starting out and haven't really played it at all, it's really good. Or even if you played it a little bit and you want to just be able to get past the first two levels quite easily, it's definitely worth a watch. Mike did a great job, made booklets, and yeah, just super thorough and did a good job presenting. It was a really fun day. We had like all kinds of setups. We had a Mysticade setup from Jeff Sutter, and he brought his awesome like CRT computer monitor. Just looked beautiful with his joystick. I had my 8-bit Do NES style looking joystick hooked up to my laptop, and then we had another rig. I think it was yours, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, just a basic wood controller. So yeah, nothing
Yeah,
fancy,
it
but
was nice.
yeah, with a laptop. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
and two
Mikey went
cabs.
round and yeah, the two genuine cabs,
Hmm.
and Mikey went round and put all the stickers or like some little instructions on each of the machine, like the arcade setups and the MAME setups as well. So that was really cool.
Yeah, man, he
And
did a great job.
he did some like take home books on the class as well. Yeah, for all the new players. And
Yeah,
we
it
had
was.
three. We had
Three new
three
players,
new
right?
players. Mm.
Yeah, so that was really cool because it's at this point, there's anyone who wanted it to be into Donkey Kong has almost gotten into it by now. Uh, so to get new people to come along, whether they just want to play Donkey Kong or if they end up joining the community, I mean, it's always the more the merrier. Um, it's almost like, do you want to get more people into Donkey Kong and infect them with this curse? But I think overall it's a positive thing, even if you end up hating the game. Some days it's overall what you get out of it, the satisfaction,
It's
the community. It's great.
the community is fantastic. It's a bunch of sick people. Yeah, bunch of sickos, but we love each other.
Bunch of sickos in love. That's what we are. That's awesome, man. Yeah, apart from that, I've been playing my PS5 a lot. I played Astro's Playroom. So we had my mate and his girlfriend living with us just for a few weeks because the place they were living at with their friends, their parents came. The girl's German. Her parents came over from Germany to live with them. There's 3 German girls in our group of friends. We all met each other because of the first couple that got together, and their parents came over from Germany, so they kind of had to live somewhere else for a little bit. And we were playing a lot of Astro's Playroom, and then we played. So we both finished that, and I got all the trophies for it, which I like to do sometimes for games that I really enjoy if they're fun trophies to get. I don't like spending hours and hours just trophy hunting or anything, but if it basically just adds more fun challenges, then I'll go for it.
Yeah.
And we played It Takes Two together, which is a fantastic game for co-op. It wouldn't be one that you can do co-op friendly fire really, but it's just a really good story, really well made, really good mechanics. It's like 15 or something different genres in one, and each one is done quite well. Like there's sections that are like 2D platforming, the sections that are 3D platforming, Crash Bandicoot style, sort of Mario style, the 3D Mario style stuff. There's
Does it
so
interchange
many,
between levels, or is it all just like you turn a corner and then all of a sudden you're just like 2D platforming? Or
sometimes you turn a corner and it changes, but it always makes sense. It's never like, what the hell am I doing now? Like the way that they've transitioned everything together, it's just amazing.
that sounds really cool.
Yeah, Jen already likes video games, so you would love it. And with playing with the kids, and it's also kind of a lesson. It's a very kind of emotional game at times because it's about a couple that are planning on getting divorced, and the kid's really sad about it. So it tugs on some heartstrings for sure.
So
They end up.
It actually takes 3.
Oh,
Gotcha.
It does.
Spoiler.
It takes 3.
2.5. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's just really, really well made. I don't know. I'll just quickly look up because I don't want to not shout out whoever made it. But it's a fairly affordable. I think a lot of people might already have it as part of PlayStation Plus. Maybe it came on there, or you can get it fairly cheap online. I mean, it's rated 10 out of 10 on Steam, and it's 95% on Google have liked the game.
Yeah.
I think it's Haze Light Studios. It's an action adventure platform video game developed by Haze Light Studios, published by EA. PS4, PS5, Windows, Xbox One, Xbox Series X/S. Yeah, it's from 2021, and it came to Switch in 2022, so it's everywhere, and it's awesome. I also played another game of theirs called A Way Out. I probably talked about that on the podcast at some point, where it's like you got to work together to escape a jail. So this one's a lot more kiddie and colorful, and it allowed the genre blending a lot more because it's a fantasy game. You get turned into a couple of little dolls, and you're in this basically a made up world. So they could really do whatever they wanted, but the other one was a lot more grounded in reality. So really cool. Super, super recommend it. What else? I've been playing Atari 50. You can't the only way to finish Atari 50 properly would be to finish the whatever 80 whatever games are part of it, and there's no way I'm ever going to do that. Some of them I don't know if you can finish, but I'm getting through like the timeline of playing through everything, and I've just got up to Atari Kart Races, I think it's called, or Crazy Karts, something like that. It's like the
Yep.
Mario Kart of Atari, and that's probably the one I was
Oh,
looking forward to playing the most because I love Mario Kart. So that's on the Jaguar.
was it Wacky Wheels or is that something else? Or
I'm not sure. I think that's something else.
yeah,
I think
must be.
second
I was playing
Atari.
something on PC. I'm also might be confusing it with the show
That's what I was thinking.
with
Wacky
like
Races or whatever.
Wacky Races. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was a game called Wacky Wheels that I used to play on like a Pentium back in the day,
Oh,
which is like Mario Kart.
okay.
Yeah,
Crazy Kart
but
Racing? No, that's a different game.
yeah, it's Wacky Wheels. Yeah,
Is it
yeah,
the
it was
game you're
just like
thinking
a
of? Or
yeah, yeah, the game I'm thinking of. Yeah, not the one. Yeah,
I
it
think
was
it's just
like
called
a
Atari Karts, the one I'm thinking of. Sorry, yeah, keep going.
yeah, right. Yeah, Wacky Wheels was just like a computer-based kind of like it was just a knockoff Mario Kart. I used to
Oh,
play it
right.
as a kid. But, yeah, I'm just looking at it. Yeah, brings back awesome memories. But
Just
yeah,
give
it
it a
was just
shot.
animals racing karts. Yeah, it was cool.
Hell yeah. Yeah, there's some good kart games out there. I think
Hmm.
Diddy Kong Racing, Mario Kart, and Konami Crazy Races, I think it's called. Yeah, Konami Crazy Races on the Game Boy Advance is really, really cool. You can
Yeah.
unlock the Vic Viper from Gradius as well, and I think it's like a overpowered kart. You're flying around a Mario Kart as Vic Viper around like Mario Kart style tracks from the Konami universe. So really cool.
All right. Yeah.
Um,
So tell us. Sorry, I cut you off. Tell us about this Jaguar um,
oh
Atari
yeah,
races.
I haven't played it, but I just got up to that part before we
Oh,
started the
okay.
podcast, and I'm almost at the end of the game, or at least the timeline. And yeah, really, really
Yeah.
cool, man. I think you're going to enjoy playing through that. There's some parts where I'm just like, I can only play this game for 20 seconds because it's some trash basketball or boxing game. You know, it's a joystick and one button. And there's just some games that are really cool and they're timeless. You know, like Missile Command is always going to be fun on the
Mm.
Atari 2600. But then if you want, some games get better as the technology gets better, like sports games, especially.
Mhm.
At least, I mean, depending on, NBA Jam's always going to be good, but something in the style of NBA Jam from like 15 years prior or whatever, oof, some of them are bad.
Yep.
Some of those sports games were bad. And I think it was Real Sports was supposed to be their like answer to other consoles having more realistic style sports. So Atari, they think they had their original like soccer and all that. And then they brought out Real Sports Soccer. And I played it and it was like there's three players on each team and there's not even a goalie. And I thought, wow, this is super real.
Yeah.
It was bad,
That's
but
hilarious.
it's good that they included it. And there's have you ever heard of Sword Quest? The Sword Quest games on Atari?
No, no, I haven't.
You're going to learn about it when you play through Atari 50. And they, at the time the game was made, um, Warner Communications, I think they were called, owned, like I think it was Warner Brothers. They owned DC Comics and they owned Atari. So, and I think they owned a Mint as well. So DC made a comic for Sword Quest, which got released and had tips for the game Sword Quest in it. Somehow there was like codes and things, and they ran a competition where whoever figured out the secret code or secret message that's hidden in the games won like a $25,000. Like there's a sword, there's a
Wow.
chalice, because Warner had like comics, a mint, and a gaming company. It was the three companies that could make some weird competition like this happen, right?
Wow. Yeah.
And the comics are
Crazy.
good. I read the first comic, and I'm going to get the other ones I can read on my tablet, because I don't really like reading and zooming in and stuff on the screen to be able to read and look at things properly. I'd rather like read on a tablet in bed or whatever. But yeah, Sword
Mm.
Quest, and they released three of the four games, but then I guess the fourth one, like they maybe the first three weren't profitable enough, and the fourth one never got released. The games themselves are they're kind of Zelda style, but a bit more
Yep.
basic. I played them a little bit. There's like action adventure mixed in there with like you'll get to a stage and then you've got to do some sort of platforming or shooting or dodging. Um, Pretty cool. Didn't play them for long. I just thought the whole story about it all happening. I never had any idea about it. There's so much stuff in that. You're going to learn a lot about Atari from playing that when you play your copy, mate. It's going to be cool.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. That's yeah, obviously more gems in the Atari than people would realize, I think. Um,
Definitely.
especially with like some of the older consoles that just didn't really get a run.
Like the
Yeah.
7800 and the 5200,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
even older.
Oh, even older. Well, I don't know much about the Jaguar. I've always wanted one,
Oh yeah.
but I don't know if anything good came out on it or not.
I was just playing a bunch of the games or just trying them out, and I just don't like how they look that much. I don't know why. There's something about that 90s aesthetic where I don't know, it looks kind of grungy, and they're trying to do 3D for the sake of doing 3D, and it just doesn't look very good a lot of the time. But then if they use that same power to just produce really beautiful sprite-based artwork and sprite-based games, it looks awesome. But
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
that's just me. Some people love it. Um, some good games on there, some pretty cool ones. I think originally Rayman first came out on the Atari Jaguar. I could be wrong about that, but
Oh, cool.
yeah, it's pretty interesting learning about all this Atari stuff. And even though there was that video game crash in 1983, I think some people think Atari just died at that point, but they pivoted to computers and also kept making Atari 2600 games. I think the last 2600 game was made in the early 90s.
Yeah, right.
So it had like a 13 or 14-year life cycle or something, which is just unheard of today. But that was
Yep.
also part of their downfall, was that they didn't make another console soon enough, and they kind of just got superseded by other companies, and then
Yeah,
they lost their hold on the market, I guess.
yeah, because they definitely dominated there with the Atari 2600 for a long time.
For sure,
Um,
for
a lot of
sure.
people had Commodore 64s as well, but it
Yeah,
was definitely like a massive plug and play console of like that generation.
definitely. It's great. It's iconic. I've got mine sitting over there. Shout out to Dennis. That's another thing I've been up to, playing a bit of Moon Patrol on my Vader 2600, which was fixed by getting a new mod chip thing for it, because I have it AV modded, and Dennis got it up and running again, the legend. So enjoying that. Oh, that's a pickup I need to talk about as well. The TV that I'm playing it on now. Well, let's get into pickups then,
Yeah,
shall we?
go for it.
Let's get into parts. But
Hey,
we're not on the part podcast, just to be
yeah.
clear. um,
The new TV. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about this one.
it's a CCTV. I was looking on Facebook Marketplace, and um, really nice dude. I've got to get his name because we had a good chat. He's got quite the collection of CRTs. His garage has many, many in there, and he went down Give me 1 second. I just want to check the name. He got it from a theater. So he got it from the Brolga Riverside Theater and Convention Center, and it's a number starting with 4074. So I think it's down the coast somewhere or up the coast. I'm not sure. But he said he was doing a gig there, and he picked up this. He asked them, "Do you have any like PVMs, CRTs, and stuff that you've thrown out?" And they said they had thrown out a whole bunch of them already, which hurts, but they did have some left. And this CCTV, so to me, I feel like it's the step between a consumer CRT and a PVM, because you can't buy it in the shops, but it's also not made to be the best quality that you can get. But it's a really good quality CCTV that comes with audio, it's color, and I've got like my Mega Drive, my PC Engine, Super Famicom, and Famicom, and Atari plugged into it, and I've got them hooked up to a switcher, and it bypasses the audio for the TV because it only has mono. So I've got it hooked up to stereo from the switcher into some stereo Sony speakers, so it sounds a lot better. And it's just freaking cool. Basically looks like a PVM, and I've got the BNC things at the back, and it's all
got the shell of like or the chassis of like the big square PVM.
Yeah, it's basically a cube. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a white shell, handles. Isn't it?
No, it's grey.
It's grey, right?
Yeah, I'll show you. Sitting over there.
Yeah, hot. Yeah, that's mad, man.
It's so cool, man. It's 14-inch. The TV. And it just looks really good. It's crisp and it's super cool. And I've moved the giant Trinitron downstairs because it was at the moment, because I moved it out of the games room, which is there because that's where our friends were living, and it's sitting over here. And Michelle works out here as well, and now I've just got like my little retro set up there, like the couch there, and then so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's mad.
I like it, but it's all going to end up being back in there because right now there's a mattress in there. And yeah, I'm stoked. It was a decent deal, $150. I got up early and on a Saturday and went down and picked it up because he's dealt with a lot of people before, and he's like, yeah, I'm not holding it for anyone, whoever comes and gets it. Like, he wasn't rude. He just said, he told me, yeah, it's good to go. Come tomorrow morning. There was someone who planned to come and get it the next weekend, but who knows if they would have ever shown up. And I just said, well, I can come tomorrow. The ad clearly stated no holds or anything like that. So
yeah,
I just went and got it as soon as I could because I just thought it looked so cool. It's Samsung as well, so really good quality. And he color graded it for me. Like, he has a cartridge where it has the different colors, I think, like a rainbow, and you tune it to what each color should be like. So it looks really good, really accurate to what the colors should be. Just get his name. Yes, I am. He said, Steven's his name. He says, yes, that's sick. Because I sent him a photo. He said, put it on the CRT Collective group on Facebook. Yeah, so his name's Steven. Good dude. I told him about the podcast too, shamelessly plugging it. And hope maybe he'll listen to this. Hope you do, Steven. I'll send him the link. And I said to him, maybe we can have a chat someday, like get him on and talk about his collection. That'd be pretty interesting, I think.
Yeah, did you see any other gold while you were there, Shaun? There's some crazy CRTs out there with like the real bubble heads or the like Darth Vader ones or.
Oh yeah, they're cool, aren't they? Nah, I did actually own a Darth Vader one. Well, not own, but I went and picked one up for Steve Riding.
Yeah.
And so he's got one. It's a pretty cool one. He had a massive like widescreen. I think they call it a Wega, Sony Wega, not a Trinitron. And he also had I think it was maybe a low, so it had SCART, and he also had a SCART modded Trinitron that he did himself. So he
Wow.
had a few. It wasn't at the time. It was fairly well organized, but at the time it wasn't super neat and tidy. And I didn't stick around too long because he had to take his kid to swimming.
Yep.
But yeah, it was really cool. It was a good. I'd love to talk to him about his collection and how he's picked some up, because if he's going around and doing gigs places, he's probably asking everywhere he goes, "Do you have any old CRTs? Do you have any old CRTs?"
Well, you never
And
know, especially like at the back of like a um a
for
bar or
sure.
something. I don't know, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't. Hey, you never know what's lying around, even if it's not like a PVM, even if it's just an old CRT they used to use in the shop, could be something cool. Um, he that I would say that CCTV might be more rare than like a BVM or PVM, because they're much more sought after. So it's people are a lot more aware, I think, that they're worth something, or at
Yeah.
least like there's a lot more of those in collectors' hands and people who want them. But I don't know about CCTVs. I've never even considered it because I never heard it mentioned before. But then I saw the photos he put up of it. I thought, this looks freaking awesome. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go for it. Yeah, we've only got like a few minutes left, so I'm gonna go through a pickup. So on the weekend, me and Michelle were driving to Cedar Creek, not Cedar Creek Falls of Mount Tambourine, but actually Cedar Creek, where they have rock pools there.
Yep.
And I don't know where it was exactly, like somewhere on the way to Sanford. We just saw this
Yep.
like massive garage sale set up on someone's big property on the side of the road. And it looked kind of like a big flea market, but it was just one person's property. And we've been looking for furniture, so we still need bedside tables and stuff because we've only moved in here recently. So we pulled over, went to have a look. I found like a Wii sitting there, but it was like had moisture in it, and the games for it weren't anything special. I thought, okay, it was a good sign, because I'm always looking for games at a place like that, like any op shop, antique
Yep.
store, garage sale. And I just asked the guy, I said, "Oh man, do you have any other video games or anything like that lying inside?" And I was hoping he would say, Nintendo or Sega, old stuff like that. He said, "Oh yeah, I got some Xbox stuff. I'll just go have a look." And he came out. He had a tub full of controllers for, I think, somewhere between PS2 and PS4. So I got this PS4 controller. It's a bit dinged up.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it looks really
It's a cool
nice.
color.
Yeah, the dark blue, I really liked it. Like that's a color I would have chosen. And I recently gave my brother my PS4 controller because I thought, well, I don't need it. I've got a PS5, but I've got heaps of PS4 games, and having two controllers is good because you can still use these on PS5 and play PS4 games on it. You can see that it's a bit broken
Oh
apart,
yeah.
but I think it just
Yep.
needs to be clicked back in. It looks like it's just being kicked around a bit. I've already got new joysticks on the way. I haven't plugged it in yet. I was saving it for the podcast to see if it holds a charge or anything. Um,
Oh, here we go.
oh, I
Drum
almost
roll,
just,
please.
yeah. I'll just unplug the keyboard. I don't need that right now. Let's see, man. Let's see. And I've got a minute and a half. Oh no. Yep.
Hey, there you are. Boom. We've got
You
light.
beauty. Let there be light. It's turning on, but it didn't come up with charging. I'll see what happens there. It could be that the battery maybe is dislodged or something.
Yeah.
But so I'm gonna sort that out, clean it up, fix it up. I'll update on the next episode. I've
Right
got
as
a
rain.
pretty
Bit of elbow grease.
bit of elbow grease, get in there, shine her up. I got this. It's like really nice condition. Doesn't have
Nice.
battery corrosion 360 controller, because the only other one I've got is the R2D2, or the C3PO one that comes with the R2D2 Xbox, and I didn't really
Yep.
want to play with that too
Play
much.
around.
Just like the look of the black controller. And all of these games, And I paid $30
Boom.
for everything. I offered him
Oh,
30.
that's a
He said, "Yeah,
steal.
man." Yeah, how good is that? I mean,
Red Dead
some of these
Redemption
games might
Undead.
be worth. Yeah, I used to have that and I sold it and I thought, well, I'll play this on the Xbox One and I think it's backwards compatible and I'll see what it looks like. But
Yeah,
yeah, so
rad.
I've got Red Dead, Undead Nightmare, Forza Horizon 2, Horizon 3, which I think I already have. Maybe I sold it though. Micro Machines World Series, Rocket League Ultimate Edition, which is cool. I love Rocket League. Star Wars Battlefront, and that
Rad.
actually is a promotional copy, not for
Oh, boom.
resale. I have no idea if that makes it rare or highly sought after or anything, but I thought that's pretty cool. Made sure that they all had the discs. No manual, which maybe it never came with one if it's a promotional copy. But
Mm.
I mean, it's a cool game.
There'd be heaps of them because no one could sell them.
Exactly. Not allowed.
Yeah, that was black market shit that you did, bro.
Yeah, that's it.
Uh,
Dice and Lucasfilm's gonna come after me. I gotta watch out. Look at this. Look at this cover for Rocket League. It's all shiny and stuff. Looks pretty cool. And it comes with
That's mad.
Batmobiles, which I only just saw. And I love Batman, so that's mad.
I love that I love that Rocket League's old enough to be found at a garage sale. It doesn't feel like it was
Yeah.
out that long ago, you know?
The
But it
the
has been
lady
like a
it's been a few years for sure. The lady there said, I mean, this one's got copyright 2018 on it. I think that might have been when it was released in this form, the Ultimate Edition.
yeah.
It comes with a whole bunch of different stuff, but it could be download codes that aren't with it anymore. I'm not sure. Um, but the lady said, "Yeah, my son, are they for you or like for someone else?" I said, "Yeah, they're for me." But she said, "Oh, my son plays like all the time." So it was a couple at the garage sale. So afterwards,
Yeah.
it occurred to me, I wonder if they like had permission to sell the stuff, or is it just stuff that he left there and had moved out? Oh, it's
Yeah.
mine now.
Be
Also got
careful what you leave behind.
exactly with mum and dad. They don't care sometimes. Star Wars Force Awakens, Lego, and Jurassic World. Those games are pretty cool. Um, yeah, pretty stoked on that. I mean, that's probably $100 worth at least, I'd say, for $30.
You got $30. Boom. You're
So
laughing.
yeah,
Yeah, well
absolutely
done,
laugh.
man.
Yeah, I'm stoked,
They
man.
looking the game's looking really good condition too.
Yeah, they mostly are. There's one that's like a bit looks like it's been chewed on or stood on by a dog or a person, stood on by a person, chewed on by a dog, or vice versa. Who knows? Who knows, man? Uh, and yeah, I'm just keen as to like get this PS4 controller, like looking new. I could probably buy a new trigger because I might just shave it off, actually, smooth it off at the back because it's got like some chunks taken out of it. It looks like someone just rubbed it in the dirt. I don't know how that happens, but
Yeah, it's been through shit.
it
It's seen shit.
has. It has,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm gonna get it
Call
all
of Duty
pretty.
player.
Yeah, just throwing it like this.
Yeah.
Uh, I think I do have another pickup, but this podcast is running over time. I'll save that for the next one. My mate, shout out to you, Vince, for picking me up a really cool coffee table book, but I'll save that for next time. Don't let me forget,
Oh,
Neil.
exciting.
Yeah.
Exciting. No, I won't.
Ooh,
Yeah, right.
I'll tease you with that one. I know you love a tease, Neil.
All right.
It's
Shall we
time to
wrap this
call it,
one up?
man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, everyone. Thanks for joining me, Neil. I think we can do these shorter podcasts much more often. I'm not going to promise fortnightly or anything, but that's around about what I'm aiming for.
Did you say fortnightly? Yeah. Right. But we won't promise that.
No, but we'll allude to it very
Yeah,
strongly.
certainly. Hopefully the other lads will be able to join us, which I'm sure they will.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
this one was a bit late notice. So as long
Certainly.
as we have two of us or one of us talking to someone,
Mhm.
I mean, solo podcasts are a thing sometimes, but I don't know how that would go. Maybe one day. Yes. Well, thanks for joining us, everyone. I didn't mention at the start, it is Monday, the 20th of March, 2023. Every time I listen to the Pocket Arcade podcast, I'm reminded that that's a good thing to do at the start. Thank you, Mark Bell. He's an organized man, that one.
It's
I
a
think.
well-oiled machine. He's
He is.
well-oiled with
Oh,
his new oily deck. Yeah.
oh, my oily dick. Oh, good times.
You must
All
have
right.
had barrow over. See ya.
See you, mate. Thanks, everyone.